Hey guys, I I know some of you are probably feeling a little bit down today because we didn't have the earthquake we were looking for in Egypt. But I wanted to encourage you today because so many things are lined up for this time. You know, one thing I had calculated not too long ago is I remember hearing that Billy Graham died on the same day that Moses died. And I know I believe it was 40 days from that point till Joshua took the Israelites and led them to the promised land. Well, 40 days from when Billy Graham died leads us to, I believe, April 1st. March 31st or April 1st. It leads us to, it looks like Easter. So I don't really believe in coincidences. So we have that lining up. We also have this space station from China, which happens to be called the Heavenly Palace, right? Descending right now, and it hits about the same time frame. So is it a coincidence that 40 days after Billy Graham's death, at the time frame that Joshua took the Israelites and led them to the promised land, that we have the Heavenly Palace descending? And I don't know how many of you keep up on iPet Goat. I mean, I know it was put out by the enemy, but they have some understanding of what time it is, right? And the boy in white that flies up, he spins in a circle and flies upward. It looks to me like kind of like a rapture event. He does that in front of a blue moon. We don't have another blue moon this year, I don't think. So there's just too many things lined up for this weekend. And doesn't it make sense that the body would follow the head? That on the day that the head of the church rose, that the body would also rise. Is the blue moon Saturday? Yeah, I think it's the 31st. I believe so. I believe the night of the 31st going into Easter. So I just find all of these events converging at one time important. Also, when Jesus was with his disciples and he said, I won't drink this wine again until I'm in the kingdom with you. I think that was probably a reference to the wedding supper of the Lamb, and that was said to them at Passover. Somebody was showing me a count yesterday. It's in the comments of my last video. And I'm not a really detailed guy, so I'm not good at counts, but it landed also on April 1st. Another thing is, obviously, by my channel name, most of you know that 44 has been important to me. That's a number that God showed me many times, the number 44. And Todd from It's Finished has pointed out that Passover has a lot of fours in it, right? So I believe they drink like 4 cups of wine. And then this would be the 4th fulfillment of Passover should the rapture happen at Passover. And we'd be entering the 4th month on our calendar, 4/1. And then we have Revelation 4:1, should we rise. So it's all 444s. So has this been what God's been showing us all these years with the 44s? And I see Watchman 9 says, I still think his vision's significant. Yeah, me too. I do too. I'm going to tell you something about that vision. I think this is important. So, I don't know how many of you have seen, but Rhonda Empson had a dream back in 2015 about a sandstorm hitting Egypt, and she knew in the dream or vision, whatever it was, she knew that when that sandstorm hit, that was like a final call for the rapture, like the rapture was happening at that time. Some people have been putting that video up. Well, in the boy's vision, I kind of thought that earthquake could be symbolic, because he said that everybody's gathered at the base of a mountain at that time, but he didn't specify like what group of people. It seemed like he felt like he would be there too, but he lives all the way in Sweden, so that would have to be an act of God, or it would have to be symbolic. Now, he said that it would happen at 7 a.m. So what's interesting is there was a major sandstorm in Egypt for the past couple of days, just like in Rhonda Empson's dream. And she woke up from that dream at exactly 1 a.m., which in Sweden, I believe, is 7 a.m. exactly. So at the time that the boy said that that earthquake as a sign in Egypt would hit, is the exact same time that Rhonda Empson woke up from that dream about the sandstorm in Egypt as the last final call for the rapture. And the sandstorm in Egypt has been going on for a couple of days. So is that just a coincidence? I don't think so. If that boy hadn't pointed to Egypt, would anybody be looking at Rhonda Empson's dream of Egypt? I don't think so. So for those who are in the light, for those who have eyes to see, and for those of us who have been watching and waiting, could what the boy saw still be a sign pointing us to this time frame? Absolutely. God could have been pointing us back to that dream about the sandstorm in Egypt. Why not? And maybe we are all being gathered at the base of the mountain right now. Maybe we are being gathered so we can ascend it. So I haven't lost hope. I'm still really excited about Easter. I'm still really excited about Passover. And I'm looking forward to this. I think we're in the right time frame. I remember last year everybody was reading the Song of Solomon, and it's all about a spring wedding, right? It's like, arise my love, the flowers are blooming. You know, it's like, it's all pointing to this time. And I can't get over the harvest seasons. I just feel like God's gonna follow those harvest seasons, like the barley is going to be harvested at the right time. So if the first fruits aren't taken in the springtime, then I would almost feel like that this wouldn't be the year, but I think it has to be the year, because it's the 70th birthday of Israel. Anyway, it's just some thoughts. I just wanted to bring you guys a little encouragement in case you're feeling down. I know a lot of you have been at this a long time, so you're probably used to it. I've been at this for 3 years. So I'm kind of used to it. But this time my spirit feels different. I know